My folks told me they lacked room for me and the children this holiday season. But soon after, my siblings shared an image featuring 3 additional visitors and a pup in festive horns. I captured a shot of their present still sitting in my car boot and forwarded it. Mother rang repeatedly, 26 unanswered calls in moments. When she mentioned no space for us this Christmas, I chuckled. I assumed it was a prank. My sibling resides just 10 minutes from there with her pair of canines, her partner, and that odd pal of his who constantly reeks of marijuana and sourness. Yet there's consistently accommodation for them. But for me and my 2 little ones, none available. I inquired if perhaps we could visit post-meal or the following day. She replied it would be overly disorderly. Too crowded, insufficient seats. She added a bit about her chronic backache flaring up and how she couldn't manage the tension. This occurred 2 weeks prior to the holiday. I ended the call, settled on the sofa, and gazed at the blank surface as my smallest, Lily, wondered if she ought to prepare her tiny penguin jumper. It struck me at that point. This marked the initial holiday we weren't welcomed. I kept it from the children. I informed them that their grandparents were traveling this time and we'd have a snug celebration at our place. Nonetheless, I purchased presents for all. For my parents, my sibling, her partner, even the fellow who smells like stale fast food. I'm unsure why. I suppose I hadn't completely grasped it. I clung to the hope that a call would come explaining it as a mix-up. None arrived. On the eve, I arranged the packages tidily in the vehicle, tied up, tagged with a ribbon on every one. We viewed films, prepared flapjacks for supper, and the little ones were content. I attempted to join in. But on the morning, I accessed social media. I wasn't seeking specifics. Truly, I wasn't, yet there it appeared. A snapshot from my sibling. The meal area was crammed. Complete feast. Roast bird, filling, various wines, the pricey sort father feigns disdain for but consumes regardless. Seated were my sibling, her partner, his 2 buddies, one unfamiliar, a lady in a holiday outfit, and a Labrador in seasonal accessories. No space, right? I examined the image, then eyed the packages in my car, then photographed those and dispatched it to the group conversation with a lone phrase. Seems I misinterpreted your meaning of limited space. I set the device aside. I avoided viewing responses, but I hadn't anticipated the ensuing events. In mere minutes, my phone vibrated incessantly, first from mother, then father, mother once more. I peeked and noticed 26 ignored calls in under 10 minutes. I ignored them. That was when something fractured, not shattered fractured, since shattering would imply I was finished immediately. But I wasn't, not quite, yet I was nearing it. I eventually responded near 9 p.m., not due to desiring conversation, but because intrigue prevailed. I had to listen to the extent my own parent would distort facts. She dove in instantly. No hesitation, no inhalation. She asserted she was unaware my sibling planned extra attendees. Stated she had no clue it would evolve into a large gathering. That she anticipated a calm affair, merely the residents. Her tone resembled an unrehearsed recital. She continued regarding her exhaustion this period, how details escaped her. Then she uttered words that tightened my grip on the device. You might have at least delivered the presents. The little ones would have enjoyed unwrapping items from their relative. That's her remark to me. No regret. No, we should have arranged spots. No, we longed for you. Merely a grievance that the unanticipated gifts didn't reach the decorations. I disconnected. I refrained from shouting. I offered no clarification. I simply tapped the end icon and observed my silhouette in the dim cooking space pane. She didn't redial, nor did my sibling, but near 11, father messaged. Avoid allowing a single confusion to wreck the kin. That term, confusion, as if I misperceived her statement on space, as if I fabricated the image of a canine in festive attire at the table's end, as if I was overreacting once more, which they invariably claim when avoiding confronting their behavior toward me. But this extended beyond one image or single festivity. It encompassed each year I remained silent. Each year I arrived ahead to assist with preparations, only to be directed to relax, while my sibling appeared tardy with store-bought treats and received acclaim for rescuing the occasion. Each year my children received cheap activity sets, while my nephew unveiled another set of earbuds. Every instance they overlooked Lily's special day until late and faulted me for not prompting them. I've advanced funds countless times, settled their power charges twice recently, acquired a fresh wheel for father when he claimed inability to commute, assisted with my siblings' housing once and they omitted gratitude. Merely stated its familial duty, yet we weren't valued for mere seats. I barely rested that evening. I remained in the main area, browsing past communications, images, records. I accessed my financial profile and reviewed the sums transferred over recent years. It churned my insides. Thousands. I jotted a memo labeled what they extracted, not solely currency. Hours, mental effort. Matters I overlooked for harmony's sake, for tranquility. But what tranquility was I preserving? My little ones were increasingly sidelined annually while I facilitated it. The following dawn, I shed no tears. No sorrow emerged. I crafted flapjacks, sipped my brew quietly, and as the children engaged with fresh playthings, I launched my computer and halted the recurring payments aiding their expenses. No further funds, no more transports, no additional salvaging. They selected their path. Now I'm choosing mine. I'm uncertain of future holidays, but I assure you this. It won't involve pleading for a place at an unwelcoming setup. Several days post-holiday, a recording arrived from my sibling. I hadn't restricted her access yet, and she presumed I'd relaxed. She offered no remorse. She skipped referencing the image. She merely stated, "I'm unaware of the turmoil you're inciting, but it's unjust to our parents. They've provided immensely for you." I replayed it twice, then erased it, because the reality is, for ages I've sustained this group's operations. I transported mother to meetings when my sibling had commitments. I supervised her offspring repeatedly, including sleepovers during her impromptu outings. I acquired provisions when supplies dwindled, bridged housing shortfalls, and compensated for their lapses in organization. Yet I voiced nothing. I maintained discretion to avoid seeming unappreciative, to evade being the issue, and I convinced myself I could endure. I convinced myself it was insignificant if they neglected my milestone, bypassed Lily's performance, or never proposed aid with seasonal preparations. I believed I was resilient, but resilience morphed into submissiveness, and I suspect they relied on that. When Lily inquired if we'd visit for the new year as customary, I declined. She didn't weep but appeared puzzled. Why not? I spared particulars. I simply said we'd try something novel this time. Solely us. We organized a small fire outdoors with sweets and goofy caps from the bargain shop. I permitted extended wakefulness. At the stroke, we proclaimed our aspirations for the period. Mine was straightforward: safeguard my serenity, shield my little ones. The subsequent week, mother dialed again. This instance, she recorded sobs, claimed she yearned for the children, that she couldn't fathom my detachment, that kin should pardon and overlook. That segment affected me, because truthfully, I did pardon, repeatedly. I excused being disregarded. I excused how they diminished my children's worth. I excused how my sibling acquired loans without repayment and then behaved as if my inclusion was a favor. I excused each oversight of us, jests at my cost, or accusations of oversensitivity when I defended myself. But what I'm ceasing is the overlooking. I'm not overlooking that my child approached with her penguin garment, thrilled for relatives, and I fabricated to shield her from dismissal. I'm not overlooking space for outsiders and a pet, but none for blood. I'm not overlooking the quiet after dispatching that image of packages in my vehicle. This isn't grudge holding. This is comprehending the outcome of ceasing to pursue affection that ought to be unconditional. For once, I'm not the antagonist. I'm the one who perceived reality and resolved my children merited superior. They still anticipate my return. That I'll mellow as usual. They overlook I'm departed already. It was January's middle when the correspondence arrived. An actual, tangible note. My title scrawled in father's script, trembling as ever. No sender's location, merely a stamp from nearby. It didn't resemble contrition, resembled allure. Within one sheet, not printed, penned by hand, and that amplified the strangeness. He commenced with notions on how kin disputes invariably fade, and how obstinacy harms all. Then, unable to restrain, he proceeded. If misfortune befalls us, he inscribed, we've altered the estate plans. Your sibling will handle all holdings and possessions henceforth. We aim to prevent future mix-ups. Trust you comprehend. That concluded it. I perused it thrice. Not from a state concern, I genuinely didn't, but from the casual deployment. Like a caution, like guardians admonishing a youngster behave or no treat. And it impacted deeper than foreseen. They truly believe I require them. That threatening legacy would compel compliance as before. They fail to grasp that post-everything, the final desire is entanglement with their legacy. But the true sting wasn't the estate. It was the later occurrence that week. I was purchasing supplies when I spotted my niece. My sibling's child, solitary at the market entry, perched on the seat near trolleys, kicking feet sans jacket, face flushed from chill. I assumed she awaited company, but isolation prevailed. I joined her and queried her mother's location. She replied indoors, instructed to remain. 15 minutes elapsed. Odd. I escorted her inside and located my sibling at automated payment, processing a loaded basket nonchalantly. She showed no astonishment. She didn't wish to enter, she grumbled as justification. She noted my gaze. Avoid commencing. The child lingered nearly 30 minutes in freezing temps. No outerwear, no oversight, and I acknowledged something previously unadmitted. My children weren't merely omitted, they were safeguarded. Since such negligence wasn't novel, I'd simply never observed it externally. En route home, I trembled uncontrollably. Not fury, but from nearing allowance of these individuals to mold my offspring's perceptions of affection, of security, of kin's essence. That evening I retrieved the container housing aged greetings, sketches for grandparents, developed snapshots. I discarded all bearing their identifiers, not vindictively, merely essentially. I required separation, unwilling to erect a memorial to those incapable of allocating seats yet daring to leverage inheritance. I shared the note with none. I abstained from reply. Let them deduce receipt. Let them ponder my silence. They sought inheritance games? All right. By February, my quietude evidently seemed enduring, prompting strategy shifts. Initially subtle. A mention from mother on social media with an ancient shot of the children at their residence. Labeled yearn for those tiny expressions. I ignored. Then father remarked on my upload, kin endures despite ire. I remained mute. Then the contacts, not direct, they abandoned that. They employed intermediaries. My relative Sarah phoned unexpectedly, probing wellness. She seldom does. Then my uncle's spouse. I avoid meddling, but your mother's spirit fractures. I nearly chuckled. These folks dared accuse me of dismantling the group, as if I hadn't invested years maintaining it while treated as contingency. Then the unanticipated contact. It was Lily's institution. The reception noted a purported grandmother attempted delivering a holiday treat sack. They deemed it kind until verifying authorized lists and noting no permissions for that individual. They retained the sack. It contained sweets, sparkly footwear, and a message. Even amid mother's anger, Grandma adores you. I lingered in the vehicle, scrutinizing that message extensively. That sealed it. That instant clarified they weren't merely self-centered. They actively sought to influence my offspring, to foster divisions. They desired not mere pardon, they craved dominance anew. Thus, I contacted the institution and revised all access rights. I restricted mother's line. My siblings, fathers, I dispatched one note to the group and exited permanently. Kindly honor our boundaries. Refrain from reaching me or my offspring. Circumvention attempts will constitute intrusion. This serves as your sole alert. Then I removed the discussion, not wrathfully, not demonstratively, to progress. The ensuing weekend, we ventured to a lodge in the hills. Just me, Lily, and Max. Winter sports, amusements, warm drinks, no conflict, no caution, no remorse. And for the initial span in ages, I inhaled freely. The eve prior to departure, Lily suggested establishing this as routine. She proposed naming it the Serene Escape. I affirmed we could. Because this period I pursued no one, I begged no entry. I mended no other's chaos while mine lingered. I concluded, and they recognized it. The initial genuine indication of their realization of my permanence came in March, a weekend morning. Max assembled a block spaceship on the floor, voicing it as a launch. Lily sketched at the dining spot, focused with lip extended. I perched near the glass with steaming brew, recent, not warmed over, and a tranquility absent for years. Then the message appeared, from the ancient collective account utilized long ago for events before mobiles dominated. The header was merely for your awareness. Within, 4 images of my parents' dwelling. The initial depicted the lounge. Sparse, no seasonal adornments, no focal item on the stand. The second revealed the former large screen location. Vacant. The third captured father's aged lounger, worn and patched. The fourth was pivotal. A broad view of the spare chamber. My siblings' attire scattered on the mattress. Luggage hampers she'd evidently relocated. Beneath, a brief statement. Your sibling resides here temporarily. Circumstances are challenging. We yearn for the little ones. No greeting, no inquiry, no contrition. Just a pictorial emotional trap. I abstained from response. I shut the message and resumed my drink. Days later, Sarah contacted via social media anew. Spare the bearer, but your mother informed kin they're struggling. Your sibling avoids payments. Your father's unwell. They expected your thaw by now. Contrived. as if I should observe their devaluation of my offspring, utilization of me, then realign once self-management failed. But a change occurred within. I released resentment. I advanced. Rather than turmoil, I submitted finances promptly, secured a solid return, and enhanced our living space. Modest, yet expanded areas, an outdoor space. Laundry units that retained items. I involved the children in adornment. Lily acquired her sketch station. Max selected a luminous celestial display for above. Then an unforeseen event. My supervisor summoned me one weekday end and noted months of observation. My reliability, stress management, cessation of diminishment. She proposed advancement. Not nominal, substantial compensation. Substantial regard I accepted, sans consultation. With the increase, I initiated reserves for both children. Modest deposits, yet foundational. I explained for their tomorrow, and though partial comprehension, I understood. For the first, I constructed untouchable assets for us. By spring's start, communication ceased utterly. Mother vanished from networks, father's profile hushed. My sibling uploaded a vehicle image with damage, noting this period is doomed. I observed briefly, then continued. No delight. No sympathy, liberation. We scheduled an outing now, unextravagant. A modest retreat near water for days. I reserved sans coordination. Lily chose outfits already. Max vowed to snag a creature matching his limb. This marks our initial break sans burden. Sans demands, sans asides, merely us. They viewed me as transient, penalizing them, that I'd relax and revert habitually. They missed that I wasn't instructing. I composed fresh narrative. And herein, they lacked presence in forthcoming sections.